And the interesting thing is, if you do it for love, the money comes anyway.
Americans believe in a gospel of optimism. Good things happen to good people.
One of the reasons why we might be suffering is that we are surrounded by snobs.
There was a recent survey of millennials. Over 80% said that a major life goal for them was to get rich. And another 50% was to become famous.
You can do it. You can make it. Anything's possible.
If you can change your perspective, you can change the future.
All right? Intrinsic motivators versus extrinsic motivators. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose versus carrots and sticks. And who wins?
That's the kind of thought that could lead a person to start drinking gin at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Whether they're individuals or organizations, we follow those who lead, not because we have to, but because we want to.
Well, you know, there are leaders and there are followers.
This is not a drill soldier. Look at this guy. He is happy, confident, motivated, surrounded by friends who are as joyful as he is. His future is bright, but something wrong is gonna happen to him. We want to make sure that you are comfortable with this. How does it feel? We want to make sure you are comfortable with this. Different people take stress differently. Any idea of what just happened? Anyone? Raise your hand. Okay, you in the third row. Made in China. That's one way of looking at it. Quality versus quantity. Craftsmanship versus mass production. Natural rubber tree latex material versus cheap synthetic substitutes. Alright, anybody else? How about you? You guys at the back? Spiritual interpretation. He was too old, too tired, couldn't hold the pressure of life. Inanimate object inflated with spirit of life, blown up to free up his spirit from physical confinement. That's another way of looking at it. Any other ideas? Anyone? He gave up too early. Many people give up when they are this close to winning. Lack of perseverance, lack of discipline, lack of self-esteem. Anybody else? You've been holding your hand for too long. He looks like a used condom. Well, many of us gonna look and feel this way when we retire. Alright, let's wrap this up. Can anybody pinpoint a specific cause that produced this effect? I'm looking for a key word. Specific underlying cause. Bingo, that's it. Motivation. He lost his motivation. That's the right answer. Any ideas how to fix it? You think you've reached the point of no return? Think again. Admit the failure and move on. It's never too late to start again. Temporary discomfort or a minor setback is not the good enough reason to give up on your dreams. Don't you have a dream?
I had a dream once.
Bunch of people out there that have these lives that are deeply unsatisfied.
Start small, dream big, never give up. If I would give up so easily, I would never achieve anything in my life. No excuses, total commitment. Make the best of yourself you could ever be. Today is the day. Just do it. Go. Listen up, man. You can do it. You gotta respect yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
If not me, who? And if not now, when?
Listen up, man. You can do it. Give it everything you've got. Believe in yourself. Total commitment. Never give up. Well, teach the idea of perfection. There is a lot to be treasured about being good enough. Be realistic. This is not a drill, soldier.
Discipline equals freedom.
You need all willpower now. You must overcome your fears. The fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of making a wrong decision, fear of not having what it takes, fear of looking stupid, and above all, fight against all odds. take arms against a sea of troubles. But he chose to sleep.
To sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come.
Seriously though, external motivation doesn't work. You may drink from TED Talk shows and stay drunk with their ideas for some time, but that wine will wear off and you'll be back where you started. Or even worse, having been disappointed with lack of evidence that their ideas work, having discovered that the original presenter never tried them out, so they were never meant to work. Or they did work for that particular individual 50 years ago, but it doesn't work for other 8 billion people who happen to live 50 years later.
Each individual needs to find the most suitable way to climb that mountain.
It was a mindset that served me well until it didn't.
The only motivation I found to work comes from gradual building of your own life, taking all available help, inspiration that resonates with you, working it into your life, coming up with your own ideas, coming up with solutions to your own problems, one step at a time. You have to do your own stuff, not look at how others achieved what you dream of. It must be your own effort, your own ideas, your own feelings, your own reasoning behind it. If you have not done anything, then you will not find anything to stand on.
And the thing about a successful life is that a lot of the time our ideas of what it would mean to live successfully are not our own.
Let's say someone labored long and hard for you, and you just inherited results of their labor. Let's say you attended a brilliant motivational speech or read a book. You can understand it, you can appreciate it, but it will never be yours. You can try to build it into your life, make an effort to borrow all of the ideas and build it into your daily routine. It will take a lot of work and dedication from your side, but you may discover that it makes more damage than good for you.
Something went wrong.
Because your body is a little bit different, your mind works a little bit differently. You come from a different country, different background, and suddenly you discover that it doesn't work. And you try another one, another speech, another book, and then you try more, and then you try all of them and discover that none of that works. How is that possible? Because they were unique circumstances for those individuals.
I'm here because I believe emotion is the force of life.
It's okay to have emotions, but don't be emotional.
And it worked for them, but it's very hard to transfer their experience into your own body, into your own mind, into your own life.
And there are conditions under which people thrive, and conditions under which they don't.
When you see more clear, there is no need to believe anyone or believe anything.
Think positively, speak positively. Nothing is impossible if you believe.
Their life is worthless, that they have no love. And so they think that maybe dying would be less painful than living.
The only thing that is universally applicable is common sense. First, define your goal. Second, break it down into attainable steps. Third, make those concrete steps towards achieving your goal. Fourth, take full responsibility for what you do, for what you say, how you spend your weekends, what time you go to bed, how much you sleep, and what time you wake up. That all sounds good when we are talking about something you want for yourself, your personal goals. But none of us lives in vacuum of outer space. We all integrated into society. We live in environment surrounded by other people, by our friends and enemies, our family, colleagues at work. Team dynamics at work plays a huge role. And then ask yourself this question: how selfish you have to be to achieve your goal sooner? How many friendships are going to be in graveyard by the time you lay your hands on your trophy? Are you willing to pause, stop, and detour from your way towards your dream to help others? Have you done anything to resolve conflicts? Were you able to negotiate a solution that works for both sides of the conflict last time you had one? You see how simple, good-sounding principles quickly evaporate in the face of reality?
The most important thing? Self-confidence. And I'll show you a couple of ways in which we do. Hopefully I won't run out of time.
My mission to control and predict had turned up the answer that the way to live is with vulnerability and to stop controlling and predicting. The people who have a strong sense of love and belonging believe they're worthy of love and belonging. They fully embraced vulnerability. That what made them vulnerable made them beautiful.
And repeat out to me, please. Let's say to this together. It's not over until I win.
If you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
There is a competence here which is capable of what nature did over 1 million years, like that, over the afternoon.
All of these motivational speeches should have a warning: don't try it at home. The whole gig was to pleasantly spend an evening in a company of civilized, educated people, go home and forget about it. Not to believe in a collection of randomly sourced quotes. If I were to come to the original presenter, author, and ask why it doesn't work, I can hear his response. He would say, everybody understood it was just for fun, and you're the only one stupid enough to believe in it, so what's your problem? Go home and forget about it. Find something else to keep you busy. Just leave me alone. Don't try to find the motivation in motivational speeches.
You already speak to no explanation. No, excuse me. I think she does. She said plenty to say about our behavior all week. And the only reason we took it was because we thought she was somebody.
Most people make a strict correlation between how much time and, if you like, love, respect they are willing to accord us. That will be strictly defined by our position in the social hierarchy.
One trap that I've fallen into myself was to admire my heroes too much. Be careful not to become shadows of your role models. People who inspire you may not know you, may not care about you, may be imperfect. Define and defend your own name, your own voice, your own space in this world.
You need to feel you belong. You need to feel your life has meaning and purpose. You need to feel that people see you and value you. You need to feel you've got a future that makes sense. And this culture we built is good at lots of things, but we've been getting less and less good at meeting these deep, underlying psychological needs.
Healing of the body and soul can only come from within. Call it motivation. What a cold and scholastic word, by the way, as if somebody was dissecting a frog and found it. The motivation is a gift, I think, and it can be stolen. So I agree with those who say, surround yourself with the right kind of people, the people who encourage you, people who are going to support you even if you fall. And I also agree with those who say, follow your dreams, be true to yourself. But at the same time, it's oversimplification. There is going to be a moment that you're going to betray everything you were fighting for. And at that moment, you will lose all your motivation. But it is still noble to raise up and fight again.
This was our superpower as a species. We band together. Just like bees evolved to live in a hive, humans evolved to live in a tribe. And we are the first humans ever to disband our tribes. And it is making us feel awful.
Look at all cultural artifacts produced by humankind. Music, books, paintings, film, theater, all knowledge and wisdom that could possibly be acquired, captured, preserved and presented. Yet each generation, every one of us, every human being, seems to repeat the simplest of mistakes already made millions of times by all our predecessors. Why is that? It seems that even the most educated people, the most well-read people, when faced with challenges in life which come without any warning, they come suddenly, tend to rely on inner feelings, gut feeling, the intuition, which tells us, yes, I know that prior generations have largely failed, but let me try. I think I'm gonna do better than that. Something tells me that I can escape the fate of being stuck in the same running wheel, escape the fate of repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The problem with intuition, this inner voice, the gut feeling, is that it's based on our personal experience. And when we are young, we don't have enough of it, and we get barely enough of it, we run out of time. In other words, we ignore everything we learned and tend to act as cavemen most of the time. This is so-called personal experience effect. One example can be parenthood. One can read a book about it or have it explained to them, but if you have to explain what it means not to have a good night's sleep because baby woke up in the middle of the night, or why you're late for an appointment because you had to dress up your family, it will mean very little to people who never had children, never had to take care of a little kid. And only when they become parents themselves, it will become very clear to them what it actually means.
This world ain't gonna give you what you deserve. This world gonna give you what you work for.
That's why professional motivational speeches never work. The motivators pretend they know everything there is to know, that they felt every pain there is to feel, that they endured every hardship that there is to endure on earth, whereas in reality, the only experience they had is their own unique experience.
Got kicked out of my house. Some of you know the story. I earned $40 a week. And don't get me wrong, I love my mom, but she...
Why do you speak with so much authority? Because I'm talking about my life.
You are trying to motivate me, but do you know anything about me? Anything about my problems? Am I someone who was born with a mental illness? Or am I a healthy man who happened to lose his job recently? Am I someone with a broken heart because the girl of my dreams rejected me? Or am I someone stuck to a hospital bed with a broken leg?
Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing.
You know, somebody is bombarding you with their opinions as if they were true.
It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind.
In reality, they don't know who you are, and therefore they don't know what they are talking about. Yet, they speak in deep, warm voices.
We vote for politicians with lower voices. It's true.
They exude confidence. They fill auditorium with positive energy. They rip the place apart. They throw thunder and lightning in their excitement and anger and earn a standing ovation at the end of their talk. They seem to be very confident, selling snake oil to cure all known diseases, a magic potion to free all of you from all kinds of trouble, a reliable formula of success that always works. None of it sticks to reality, but no matter. Show must go on. Time flies when you're having fun.
It's not up to us whether what we do is any good. And if history's taught us anything, the world is an extremely unreliable critic.
Fake words, fake laughter, fake lives. I will never get over it. We all have our ups and downs, and each one of us will have to go through a lot of suffering and big losses in life. If one loses a mother, is it reasonable for him to expect him to be still positive and optimistic about things? Isn't it more decent to let person be mournful and sad for some time? But we seem to have developed this culture of overly optimistic, pumped up with positive energy people.
I'm sorry, but not everything needs to sound so goddamn clever or charming or likable all the time. Sometimes we need to just be able to say things.
They can be very insensitive and very damaging to everybody else.
Would you please just stop being so pleasant?
Who are quickly to label anybody with sad face that he or she is in depression, don't touch him, leave him alone, that he or she doesn't belong to us anymore.
Because we live in a machine that is designed to get us to neglect what is important about life.
I'm afraid we lost our mind, we lost our decency. This is completely wrong. I'm against it. There is a time and place to be sad. There is a time and place to be depressed about certain things, to be mindful, to contemplate about certain events in life.
And we know that you can be lonely in a crowd and you can be lonely in a marriage.
I had to face the fact that my life is built with paper walls, and so is everyone else's.
We shouldn't make ourselves into these puppets who are always having fun and looking for endless entertainment, exchanging fun videos and pictures. All of it is fine, but it belongs to certain time and place, not all the time. Don't replace your life with this endless optimism and mindless energy.
I am feeling so awesome, I could do another 24 more hours of positive energy. Pudgley the Bear, are you ready to keep going? Awesome! High steps, burpees, fast feet, positive.
Let's remember that every day gets us closer to our own death. This distance between birth and death can be quite miserable. We often hear that life is not fair. Maybe we are here to make it fair, all of us. Maybe a little bit of a compassion instead of angry motivational talks. As poet said, love is not a victory march.
Wie viel Zeit habe ich noch?
Jederzeit zählt.
Du stehst am Strand und schmeckst den salzigen Geruch des Windes, der über das Meer kommt. Da reden die über nichts anderes als über das Meer und darüber, wie wunderschön es ist.
No one can live your life except you. You are the one in charge to figure it out. There is no easy way. By blowing up the balloon, I wanted to show that sometimes the blows we receive from life are bigger than anything we can deal with. And when we receive our final blow from life, we must die. This life, what was it? A vast, dark emptiness. And then suddenly a bright sparkle of life came about and lit up the whole world. And it burned for some time. And then it slowly faded away back into dark emptiness, nothingness. There was nothing before, and bright sparkle, and nothing after. At that moment, what can we hold on to? A hope, a faint thought, a distant memory of life, a hope that it was not all in vain, that we did something good that will remain here after we go. Truly, truly, I say unto you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But when it dies, it produces much grain.
Give me your answer, do.